Ça marche maintenant. Okay. All right. It is working. I'll let you know when
Are we live?
Nope, not yet. Actually, we may be. Yes, we are. Okay. Go check your page and share it. Welcome, everyone. We are live. This is Zena de Gaia. So we're just going to take a moment to set up, so to make sure we're actually live. So a heads up, I will be talking today to the amazing Linda Chan Siou, who is one of the authors of the Creatrix journeys. And she is speaking to us all the way from Madagascar. So we may have we've been having a little bit of technical difficulties communicating from Madagascar, but sometimes it goes really well and then sometimes it disconnects. So we'll see how today goes. But regardless, we have been this week, we have been doing lives since Wednesday. On Wednesday, you got to meet Jeanette, who's one of the authors of the Creatrix journeys, and she shared a little bit about her journey, but her message was mostly about surrendering and making mojitos out of lemons. And then on Thursday, you met Gabby and you met Elena. Both authors also of the Creatrix journeys. And Elena shared with you about loving yourself and about letting the past go. And Gabby shared a lot about being childlike and her relationship with her mother and what her transformation has been and how it's impacted her life. So we've been hearing about all kinds of amazing women this week. And today we have another interview with my dear friend, author. She's also my coach, my sister, and has been such an incredible partner in creating this book. I just had to let my wonderful boyfriend know I'm live, babe. No background noises. So welcome, Linda. How are you?
Thank you, Z. Thank you for this amazing introduction. I would like for you to do the rest of the speech.
No, I was sharing with them, you are in Madagascar, and we have been talking every day since November. Linda has been not just one of the authors, but a critical component of creating this book for me and for all of us. She is the glue that brings everything together. She's the stitch that stitches everything together. And she's the eyes for clarity, completion, things being cohesive, and really has been a support for all of us. So Linda, thank you so much. And I do want to give you guys a heads up. If Linda drops, don't panic. Her internet is flawless and it will stay flawless. And in the case it's not flawless, don't panic, she'll be back. So welcome, Linda. So excited to be with you. I mean, I'm with you a lot, but now we're together and we're just putting our conversation live on Facebook for everybody to listen.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for how you created me also as being part of this book. I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity that I could contribute to all of you, for the opportunity to meet with you every day, Z. You're one of my most favorite people on this world. So getting to meet with you every day, and sometimes Dre, it's just amazing. So thank you for that. And yeah, I'm in Madagascar, and guys, this is my first Facebook Live. So I just want to acknowledge that.
Wow, it is. And for those who haven't seen you, it's just great to see you, Linda. I mean, you moved from Florida. It's been a year now?
More than a year, yes.
You left December 28th. Something like that, right?
Yes.
So yeah, over a year now.
Yeah, December. Yeah.
So if you haven't seen Linda, here she is, live from Madagascar.
Hi.
So Linda, I know, well, I don't know anything. Let's hear it from you. So what had you, what had you say yes to doing this? Well, what had you, well, you first of all, you did do a lot in the project. And I want to acknowledge that the only thing I asked you at the beginning was to be an author. And you said yes to that. Okay. But then you also took on things because that's who you are. When you see things are missing, if that is what you do, you bring it, you fill those slots, and you filled a lot of slots in this project. But before we talk about any of that, I want to talk about you as an author. What had you say yes to writing your story in this book?
So, great question. Sometimes I still ask myself why I put myself into this. Honestly, no, that's really a great question, and it's very important to keep reminding the intention, and the commitment. So, first of all, I've always been an author. Like, I've written pretty much my whole life, either for myself or contributing to other people, or part of other stuff. And I had this dream in the background of, one day, someday, I'm gonna publish something. I'm gonna have it fulfill on that dream. But really, that's not the main reason why I said yes to this collaboration. First thing really is because of you, Z. Since I met with you, I think it was in July 2018 in Florida, my whole life transformed, and I have been learning to listen to you, and actually to listen more to how you listen to me than listen to myself and the voice in my head that would judge myself. And I've been really practicing doing that, and you're so inspiring to me. So, it's like I want to practice. And the other reason is, so the first reason is really because I trust you, period. Like you can tell me, let's go dance on the beach right now, and I would be just, yeah, sure, why not? I don't even know what we're going to do, but yeah. And and the second thing is, because there was this part of me who felt so uncomfortable, like, sharing myself, putting myself out there, like all that stuff. So I've been learning also that when this discomfort is there is an opportunity for me to learn and grow even more. So that's also what had me say yes, let's go explore this discomfort.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing to do, to feel discomfort and say, I'm going to explore this discomfort and see what's on the other side. So the instructions for this book, so the Creatrix Journeys is the journey of taking our life experiences and viewing it from a particular filter called Life Happens For Me. And then from there, we can uncover all our soul lessons, right? And then live a purposeful life coming from our soul lessons. So those were the instructions given for the article. Linda, do you want to share a little bit about like your process of what you wrote and how you came to write what you wrote? Because I know your journey was at first you were like not sure what to write about. And then as your article developed, I mean, we were very close during this, all of us, as we were writing our articles. I mean, some of us, like me, my article started one thing and then ended up a whole other thing. And thanks to you, Linda, because like we were listening to each other so intently. So would you like to share a little bit about your process of how your article has come to be what it is now from where you started? How was that for you?
So the process of writing, right?
Yeah.
As a writer. Then I didn't think I would write that much for one article. I probably have, I don't know, maybe even 100 drafts as of now of, before I got to this version. And even this version right now, I'm still thinking like, right, like maybe should I remove this? Maybe this is too much, maybe like that, but I'm complete. I'm not going to touch it anymore. But yeah, coming back to the process of writing, when you came to me with this idea, I was just in Madagascar for a few months. I was enjoying my family. I was just settling back again home. And then I got sick, and I got really, really sick. and I was so feeling overwhelmed trying to understand what this sickness was about and how to heal myself and all that, right? So when you came to me with this project, because I choose to believe everything happens for a reason and is always perfect timing, I thought to myself, okay, so maybe I'm going to write about what's happening right now, which is my sickness. And then at the beginning, it was very confused, like what possibly can I share about what's going on? Nothing was going on, by the way. I was stuck at home. I was not even able to go out to see other people. So really nothing was going on. So yeah, it was very difficult at the beginning. Like there was nothing to share about. And then as I was I kept being committed to the project, you know, and that there has to be something here for me, like either in the project, either in the sickness. And at some point, I just was able to get the connection, you know, get the connection between both, and then surrendered to my sickness, surrendered to, I don't know what's going on here, and I'm open to receive and to write about it. And yeah, so that was the process of writing.
Beautiful. I keep hearing the word
And I just
surrender
want to
with
add
all of
too
us.
that,
Yes.
yeah, I just want to add too that at the beginning is very interesting, because the moment I chose to write about my sickness and maybe what possible lessons I learned from that moment, it was so easy. Like the first writing, it was flowing, like you know, I wrote so much in such a few time, like just really was easy. And then when I came back to it, like we read again, and then we had, you know, started having calls and reviews, and that's when other voices came in and like judging, and what is this doesn't look good, this, and then it made it so much more difficult up until this point. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up, Linda. I think, you know, we're seeing it now as we're about to hit the publish button. Like all of us are having these thoughts like, this is not such a good idea. Or my article is really not that good. Like, look at everybody. Like, I know with you, you're like, look at everybody. They have such traumatic things and you're sharing about what you're sharing about, right? So it's so, we all have that in common, right? We create and then we doubt ourselves, and we have the awareness now to observe it, and we're just laughing. We're laughing at that part of us that's like, I think this is a bad idea. We're just pointing at each other and laughing because we see it. We're such mirrors for each other. Oh, so great, Linda. So tell us about so there's a main message. So what's the main message that came out of your article? And I say really came out because I watched you go from nothing to like nothing, like nothing on a piece of paper, to starting to and using your life in the present moment. You chose to take the experience you were having right there, which is you've been traveling, and you literally went back home, right? You returned home to your parents, to your home where you grew up, and you shared from there. So what came out of that? What did you learn, and what soul lesson are you sharing?
Okay, what is my main message to the reader? Sorry. I'm laughing because I have been asking this question myself to all of you guys, all of the authors, all the time. Like, what is your main message? What is your intention? And now I'm here on the spot and like, okay, I have to answer this question. Thank you.
By the way, guys, tomorrow Linda's going to interview me. All right. She's going to be doing my interview. So log on to that because she's great at asking questions.
Revenge. Yes. Okay. So my main message is, we don't know. Like we don't know. Like sometimes you think you know, but maybe you don't. And I remember this sentence saying like, certainty is death. I don't even know if that's a quote or, you know, I got that from a book or somewhere, but it's a little bit like that. You know, if you think about it, like is the people in your life, whether you're a child, a parent, a friend, coworkers, all the people in your life, you know, you think you know, you have your truth, and they also have their truth. And I think the magic happens when we create space for each other, like for different truths to coexist. So when I say you think you know, and that's great, you can hold on to your knowledge, you know, that's what I've been doing my whole life, by the way. I'm an expert at doing that. But the problem with that is that I didn't really make space for my parents, you know, or other people in my life and their truths, because I was so certain of my truth. And it's only when I chose to let go of that, to surrender, even for a moment, even let's say for 5 minutes, I'm gonna take it back after 5 minutes, but just for 5 minutes, just let me just be curious and just let me just listen to their truth and their view, you know. Wow. And that's when I get to create that space. My real purpose in life is really to be with the people, and to also be with myself, you know, to acknowledge myself that, yeah, sometimes I don't make that space. I choose not to, you know. Sometimes I want to be right and make people wrong. And just to finish on that, so I guess if I wanted people to take just something, just one thing out of all this, like not only the book, but this life, you know, this journey, our shares, is that there is nothing wrong with you, you know. There is nothing wrong with you. And very important, there is nothing wrong with them either. It's really coming back to nothing wrong. And I can, I mean, like display that to so many layers. Like there is even nothing wrong with you thinking there is something wrong. That's the thing, you know. It's an ever, it's a choice moment by moment. And I know for myself that that's the pitfall that I go in at times, like making people wrong. Especially, Z, you know me, and we've been talking a lot about these high standards that I can have at times, and you know, people cannot reach them, and I would have the tendency to make them wrong for it. But what was I about to say is that, yeah, even
don't make that wrong.
Even if I make, yeah, exactly. And even I just want to say, like, even remember, this is a reminder, like this video, let's say, is a reminder that there is nothing wrong with you. And even if I would tell you, or I would make you think or feel that there is something wrong with you, please don't buy it. That's my message.
Wow. I don't know about you all. Linda, I could listen to you speak all day. Thank you so much for sharing that. As you were talking, I'm like, Linda, president. But I'm just hearing all of our message. Like your message is what the world needs right now, Linda. You know what you said, there's nothing wrong with you and there's nothing wrong with them. That would ultimately bring world peace, just that sentence, if we can live that. So thank you, Linda, for bringing that. There you are. So Linda, last question. Yes. And one more thing I want to say is I want to thank and acknowledge your mom and your dad for providing the space, for being such an influence on you, and for being such a support. I think any project that we do, there's the people in the background that make things happen for us, and then we get to show up and be bright. And for you, I'm clear that your mom and dad are just a really big part of that, especially that you've been living with them for the last few months and we've been doing this project. So I consider them as part of this project. We should probably put them as contributors somewhere. All right,
guys, I'm not sure this is going to be published next week because it seems like we're going to still make changes and keep making changes.
So Linda, we'll leave it with this final thought. What do you want to leave people with? Just a final thought, you know, what is your message to the world?
Well, first, thank you, Z, for acknowledging my parents. I don't know if they're watching this right now, but I'm sure they would be really happy even if it's in English, I can translate for them. And I think it's really, really important, like you said, to acknowledge people in our lives that sometimes, they're behind the scenes and they do so much. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that. I want to leave people with, okay, I brought this picture of me. I don't know if you guys can see it.
We can see
Can
it.
you see it?
Yeah.
Perfect. And that's really, I'm sharing about this little girl actually in my chapter. So what I want to leave people with, not only reading my chapter, but really like the word, like you said. The main message for the word is that you are the pure light and love somewhere in you. And maybe sometimes you forget, and maybe sometimes there are many other voices that would try to convince you that, you're not enough, there's something wrong here or with you, and it doesn't matter, like it doesn't affect who you are. So, unconditional love, that's what I want to leave people with.
It was so cool getting that message from little Linda.
I know. She's so wise.
Linda, I honestly, I can sit here and talk to you for a long time because there's a lot for us to share. There's each of our articles and the message in our article. And then there's the process that we went through to create something together, which is such a journey in itself. And Linda, I thank you so much. And I just really want you to know, and I want the world to know that I think everybody needs a Linda in their life. You've brought me a lot of clarity. You've brought me so much ease into my life. You've confronted me, like not in a confrontational way, but you've confronted me with questions where I had to confront myself over and over and over again in this project. Like sometimes we would be on the phone and I would hang up and I was really annoyed, not by you, but I was annoyed with how I felt. And thank you for that. I have grown so much from this project, and I'm so grateful to have done it with you because it made my life easier to work with you. So whatever that's worth, making your life easier and having me grow and be truthful to myself. Like there was so much BS at the beginning of this, like with all of us, right? There's so much inauthenticity that's there. And I feel like in your clearing, a lot of the BS got untangled. And for all of us in the group, not just me, we've been able to transform that BS. Like there's whatever we came into the project with, we are new people. And I really want you to be acknowledged for that. You are at the source of that transformation. And that's who you are. Like wherever Linda is, there's going to be clarity, there's going to be light, and there's going to be transformation. And you may not know, you may walk away from her and you may feel annoyed. but the annoyance for me is my own stuff that comes up because you ask the relevant questions for us to really do the looking. And sometimes it's not comfortable having a conversation with you. And thank you for that. Like you said, you seek out the discomfort, and you've taught me to be seeking out that discomfort every morning. Every single day. So thank you for that, Linda. And I want everybody to know that and to have a Linda in their life, and and reach out to you if it's something that resonates for them, because you are an asset to anybody, any project, any friend. So thank you, Linda. And I look forward to everyone reading your story and getting your message out into the world. It really moves me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Z. I'm just really overwhelmed by all the acknowledgement I received, all of it. I'm so happy this is recorded so I can replay this anytime I would need to remember.
Do you want to show them your shirt before we go? Because I know you wore it because you wanted to show it.
Oh, yeah, sure. yeah, and it took me hours to choose this one to make sure, I wear the right shirt. So yeah, I would be
Here it
happy
is.
to do that. It says,
it's not
it's
about
not about
how
how
you look.
you look.
It's about how you see.
Yeah.
And with that, you all, thank you for tuning in. We are going to go live tomorrow and we're going to switch roles. And when we're going to launch this baby next week, we may come back on live next week. We'll see. We may surprise you. But thank you for tuning in with us this week, you guys. It's been a wonderful journey. And coming soon, Creatrix Journeys Volume 1. We love you. Many blessings. And
Yes.
thank you all for
Thank
tuning
you so
in.
much.